Matthews 24 and 21. And because of iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. 2 Timothy 3 and 1. And it reads, This know also that in the last days perilous times should come. Ecclesiasticus 39 and 28, which is Sirach 39 and 28, and it reads, There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out the force and appease the wrath of them that made them. Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Wakar Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, pushing this word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, pushing the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim that be like unto the speckled bird, pushing the word truthfully and sincerely. And I say shalom to you Akim out there. And this is a news article along with the scriptures that I'm about to bring. I just brought out about 2 or 3 articles that I'm about to bring out for the sit-down lesson on November the 20th, 2022, on this Sunday noon at 12:08 p.m. Central Standard Time. In the highlight of this sit-down lesson, the name of this lesson is going to be today is In the Last Days, Perilous Times Shall Increase. And this is a news article, this first news article that I'm about to bring out. And this was recently what happened over there in New York. Potentially, they had stopped, and this suspect right here, they took him into custody. And this is a news article from CNN.com, and this was published by John Miller, Brian Gunnergris, Samantha Beach, and Ala Alzar of CNN. And this was last updated 11:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, November 20th, 2022. It says 2 men arrested, one with you-know-what, been accused of making you-know-what to you-know-what in New York City, you-know-what, NYPD says. The 2 men have been arrested and charged in the connection with the online you-know-what of New York City's you-know-what. New York law enforcement sources have told CNN. It says the New York Police Commissioner Keith Shiwu, if I pronounce his name right, announcing the arrest in a statement on Saturday, investigating from the FBI and the NYPD, the Joint You-Know-What Task Force, and the NYPD Counter You-Know-What and Intelligence Bureau in cooperations with the law enforcement partners undercovering. She called a developing threat to the you-know-what small hatters community on Friday. It says authorities moved swiftly to gather information identifying beyond the operation and neutralizing their ability to do harm, Sewell said. It says 21-year-old from New York is being charged with you-know-what threats and you-know-what possessions of a weapon. And 22-year-old of Manhattan, he's facing a single charge as well too, according to the NYPD spokesperson says. It is not yet if either the men have a legal presentation. It says officers from the Metropolitan Transport Authority arrested Brown and this other guy as well too as the suspect as they were entering a Penn Station, Manhattan early Saturday. According to the officials, also seized a large knife and a illegal weapon. with 30 rounds and several other items. The commissioner says after apprehending them, the two men were turned over to the police. Said in a statement, the tremendous police work here reflects on the MTAPD's core purpose, protecting millions of daily commuters in collaboration with local, state, and enforcers partners, the MTA says. The law enforcement sources told CNN the threats began appearing on November 12th on a Twitter account which traces late Friday to a computer and a fertility clinic where one of the suspects worked at. The alleged, including two the small hatters, gonna ask a priest if he should become a husband or a small hatter, and one post allegedly read. Sources of one of the messages containing a reference to big moves being made on Friday. The message cited a times 11:30 p.m. but gave no specific target. It says after being alerted to the messages to the agents from the task force and detectives from the NYPD Intelligence Bureau began what was described as a frantic efforts to identify and locate the suspects. So yeah, that's one article right there, and there's a few more articles as well too. So yeah, man, we're definitely living in those times. Perilous times, definitely for sure. And this incident happened about early in the week. I believe it was like two days ago this incident happened. And that shows you another clear sign that we're, living in perilous times, And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many wax cold. This is another prime example right here of the scriptures why I brought out. This is a news article from NBCnews.com. And the highlight of this news article, and it reads from NBSnews.com, and it says, 4 people, including 3 children, found fatally shot inside a Virginia home. Police arrest 35-year-old suspect who was previously in a relationship with the adult victim and is the father of the 2 slain kids.
How did you become a person who grinds your own coffee every morning? It's all because of this. The Cuisinart Grind and Brew single-serve coffee maker crafts the perfect cup at the touch of a button. It's easy to use, easy to clean, and hard to beat. Rise and grind with Cuisinart.
Just shortly before 5 o'clock this morning, we received a call for a disturbance in the 4200 block of Laurel Oak Road. Officers responded to the scene, and when they went inside to do a welfare check, they found victims of what we believe to be a homicide at this point. All I can tell you is, at this very moment, we're still working diligently to put all this together. Between the forensic work and just canvassing the neighborhood, trying to find anyone that may have any information about this incident. Maybe they have a ring camera, some type of surveillance camera on their house. Maybe someone that saw anything this morning prior to 5 o'clock. I would certainly appreciate anyone reaching out to us with any information that you have. I do not believe this to be a random act right this very second, but as always, we kind of work as an abundance of caution, and that's why I would say anybody that has any information, please reach out to us with anything that you have right this very moment.
With a major snowstorm hitting in the Midwest and right here in the Northeast.
So yeah, after you heard that from that official right there, from that news clip, that 1-minute news clip right there, continue on with the reading of 4 people, was including 3 children were fatally shot inside a Virginia home, as he was giving details about it. And this news article was on November 18th, 2022 at 1:10 p.m. Eastern Time, was last updated November 18th, 2022 at 4:46 p.m. Eastern Standard Time by David K. Lee and Kristen Santana. A Maryland man gunned down a woman and 3 of her children, 2 of whom were fathered by the alleged killer, authorities said on the Friday. And he says, officers in the Chesterfield County, Virginia, answered report to a disturbance at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. On the location, they checked the welfare being of the family members, and they found a gruesome discovery inside the house, according to a police statement. The victims, who all lived there, were later identified: a 39-year-old, 13-year-old, and 2 4-year-olds. Police said all victims were pronounced dead at the scene. And they said the 35-year-old was later arrested by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosive Agencies in Maryland and booked on suspicion of 4 counts of first-degree murder, according to sources. Said Adam was previously in a relationship with the woman and is the father of the children, according to the police statement. It is not immediately clear late Friday afternoon if Adam from Maryland had hired an attorney or appointed one. Yeah, perilous times are definitely increasing. And then this is a last news article that I brought out, and this was recently, that happened last night, I believe. And I got the notification on my phone. I seen this, and this is a news article from the Denver Post. Was published November 20th, 2022 at 7:23 a.m. and last updated on November 20th, 2022 at 10:59 a.m. And this article was by Alyssa Sklimzer, Seth Cameron, and Shelley Brandberg from the Denver Post. And the highlight of this news article, and it reads for In the News, November 20th, 2022, on this Sunday. And it reads from the Denver Post: 5 dead, 18 hurt in a Colorado Spring Alphabet Lifestyle nightclub, police sources say. And it says Jesse Smith Cruz embraces Jadiah Das Mekal the morning of a mass shooting at a Club Q Alphabet Lifestyle nightclub in Colorado Spring, Colorado's of November 20th, 2022. And it says the gunman opened fire at a nightclub in Colorado Springs late Saturday night, killing at least 5 people and wounding at least 18 before being subdued by patrons. It says Colorado Springs Police Chief Vasquez identified the 22-year-old at a news conference Sunday morning. Investigators recovered 2 weapons on the scene, and he used a long gun during the shooting, said the official. It says the suspect remains in a local hospital. It says officials declined to answer questions about the suspect's motive for the shooting, citing the ongoing investigation. Authorities received a report of a shooting Club Academy Boulevard at 11:57 p.m. and responding within minutes, saying Lieutenant Pamela Castro of the Colorado Springs Police Department. The gunman started shooting immediately after entering the club. It says Salakia. My bad about that. That was a news ad. Salakia for that. But back to the news reading. They said the first officer arrived on the scene at midnight and the suspect was detained at 12:02 a.m. She said at least two patrons inside the club confronted the suspect and stopped him. She said, it says, we owe them a great debt of thanks. Vac had said firefighters and paramedics could get to the wounded people quickly before the suspect was detained so quickly. Colorado Springs Fire Chief Randall Ward says a first responders arrived on scene. The number of potential victims climbed according to the archive recordings of police radio traffic. Officials saw at least 7 abundant ambulances to respond to the scene. A letter asked for other emergency vehicles in El Paso County. One victim was a nearby 7-Eleven had reportedly been shot 7 times, and first responders said over the radio officials worked to coordinate ambulance running. We're shattered, we're broken. The shooting occurred as a you-know-what has intensified by the you-know-what. In a statement, the Club Q termed the shooting was a you-know-what. Club Q is devastated by the senseless attack. Our community's a club posted on its Facebook page saying it's as it prayers was the victims and families, adding, we thank the quick reaction and heroic customers that subdued the government ending this you-know-what attack. And it says the Club Q is a you-know-what, features a you-know-what on Saturdays according to its website. It is one of the few safe and space for you-know-what, Colorado Springs said. One of the Southern Colorado field organizer. So yeah, I'm gonna read all the rest of that. So yeah, this is a developing story. Was this incident happened last night? I believe around about 12:08 last night. This had happened. So yeah, that shows you a indicator signs of the signs of the times that we're living in. I'm gonna bring those scriptures out once again for edification of this lesson. Salakia. This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3, verse 1. This know also in the last days perilous times should come. Right, because we are living in those perilous times. I'm going to look up the definition of perilous. In the love of many are lawlessness shall increase, and the love of many shall wax cold. And you seeing the love of many are waxing cold in the last days, and that's what we're seeing, you know. And I'm gonna look up the definition of perilous. Adjective, full or danger or risk, exposed to imminent risk or disaster or ruin. So yeah, perilous. We're living in serious, risky, dangerous times, and that's what we are definitely living in currently at the moment, you know. And I'm gonna bring out another scripture, Matthew 24:12. Bring this out again as well too. Matthew 24:12. And because of iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Right, because the love of others shall wax cold in the last days, you know. And that's what the scriptures have stated, you know. Yahweh Shemel Shai say in the last days, the love of others is going to wax cold in the last days, and that's what we're seeing, you know. The love of many shall wax cold, and that's what we're seeing, you know. And I'm going to look up the definition of iniquity. Right, the definition of iniquity is a noun plural, immoral or gross, unfair behavior. Right. Iniquities abound, which means a immoral or grossly unfair behavior, and that's what we're seeing in the last days. You know, people are waxing cold unfair behavior, it's increasing in the last days as well too. And that's what we're seeing, you know. So with that, you know, that's all I wanted to bring out, you know, and that shows you what times that we are currently living in, you know. Of the love of many are waxing cold, you know. In the last days, perilous times should come. We are definitely living in those perilous times, and the love of many are definitely waxing cold towards others, and that's what we're seeing, you know. So with that, I hope this sit-down lesson was edifying on this November the 20th, 2022 at 12:27 p.m. at noon Central Standard Time on this Sunday noon. So with that, I would like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakar Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, pushing his word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, pushing the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, that be like unto the speckled bird, pushing the word truthfully and sincerely. And until next time, I will say shalom and a ball for ball.